Previous altcoin gem BAT gave us 47% profits, and SDRK, a private group exclusive, gave us a tidy 64% since last week. So let's catch some more moves before they happen. Hi, I'm Paul with ArcisFX. We've got 5 altcoin setups for you this week with a ZEC short play you won't want to miss. So stick around for that. So first up, this is NAKA USDT 5-day. Now obviously this is a long-term play. We have the potential for about 4,000% gains if NAKA can return to the price level at around $3.25, which it was about 18 months ago in March 2024 when Bitcoin was making its first initial moves this bull cycle. But now the price action has retraced all the way back down to this long-term support area, which was the previous accumulation zone during the last bear cycle, and we are here again. So if we just zoom in, we can see essentially what we want to be doing. Now you can see if we just get close, so the price action, as you can see, is on its way down into this accumulation zone with the bottom price point for this asset at around 0.05, which is represented by this line. So you can set an alert on this level, and once NAKA hits it, you can start to accumulate. And based on how bullish Bitcoin is, will depend on how much of your position you enter at this level. But you may want to enter a small amount here first, and if we get a nice bounce out of the range, you can then look to come in again. Or if it's looking a bit hesitant when we come onto this line, you could potentially look for a slightly lower entry, a little bit of a dip before a reversal. So this is going to be a long-term accumulation play, but of course any move off a long-term support area is going to have bounces, which you can use potentially for short to medium-term plays as well, depending on your preference. But if we do get some bullish momentum from the altcoin market over the next few weeks and months, NAKA has the potential to offer us some tremendous gains. So keep an eye on this one and set your alerts. Next up is our promised short play today. This is ZEC, which has put in some tremendous gains over the last few months. But of course, what comes up must come down, and it looks like ZEC may be offering us a short opportunity, especially if Bitcoin has some more downside from here. So we have a clear definable double top with a neckline which has been broken, and we have 2 potential entries. We have entry 1, which is essentially to short the double bottom neckline, and we're in the process of essentially retesting that right now. Squeezed a little bit with this moving average. This is the 2-hour chart. So you could be looking to enter your short at around this area, and you can see these order blocks stacking up there with the same sort of thought process. But if you do want some more additional confirmation because you're a bit worried about the support this 200 MA on the 2-hour is giving the price action, and even though I wouldn't give it too much significance because it is only the 200 MA on the 2-hour, if you are a little bit worried about that, you could be looking for entry 2, which is short the break lower below the 200 MA, and of course you may want to adjust your position depending on where the 200 MA is at any given time. But you also want to enter your short position not just at the 200 MA, but also with confluence with some horizontal trend lines, and you can see there is a horizontal trend line here which is pretty much lining up with where the 200 MA is or will be if the price action descends from here. So 2 potential entrances for a short play with ZEC, but also we don't want to go too much against the tide as well. So even though you could say, well look, there's some order blocks all the way back down here at around $180, $190, I'm not sure ZEC is going to give us that much of a retrace because of course there's a reason why it's had a lot of bullish momentum. There's a lot of interest in this token, but if the market turns, we do want to capitalize off some downwards move. So a more reasonable target at around 295, which is essentially the breakout of this upper accumulation zone, would be the better bet, as potentially waiting to exit any short position all the way down here. As we go below this line, the probabilities of a reversal start to increase exponentially, and we don't really want any part of that. So if Bitcoin takes a dip, this is the sort of play you can be looking for, with a couple of potential entries if you are in the mood for a short. But a pretty good setup because we've already had the break of that neckline and the confirmation of the double top, so you just need to try and find your ideal entrance. But if Bitcoin does start to retake key levels and its bullish momentum picks up, then you may want to reconsider. But for now, ZEC, a couple of entry points for a good short setup.
Hi there, I'm James. I'm the founder of ArcisFX. I'd like to personally invite you to join our 24/7 trading group. This is built for traders who want an edge. Inside, you'll get access to live calls on Forex, commodities, crypto, energies, and metals, along with exclusive daily analysis designed to unlock your trading potential. And this in both traditional and now in digital markets. I'm talking Bitcoin, crypto, altcoins, and tethered currencies. You'll gain early access to insider news, real-time updates, real-time support, and premium educational content. If you want to sharpen your skills and boost your success rate, then join me and Paul in this community. This is a fast-growing community of traders who are now writing their own success stories. So don't wait. Join up now. Your edge starts right here.
Next up, we've got EWT, USDT daily. So this is a pretty straightforward double bottom play with a couple of potential entrances. Now, of course, here is the neckline for the double bottom. So you could put this in your back pocket and wait for a break of that if you prefer additional bullish confirmation, or you want to wait for this pattern to confirm. But if you are looking for a range play off the back of this before the pattern actually completes, we have this daily 200 MA coming in, which can offer some potential confluence if we can break above it. Now, it's not in the best position, admittedly, because the ideal place at the moment to enter off the back of this higher low in the price action would be exactly where we are now at around 0.942. And if the price action can break above the 200 MA, we should have clear sailing all the way up to this target. So a little bit risky here with this position, but I do like where we are at the moment, especially in terms of risk management. So I do like this potential entrance here. At the moment, we've just broken into this middle range between the 272 and the 618 fib level, and that would be a really nice entrance. But as I said, the 200 MA could be a little bit of an obstacle. So you may want to wait for a confirmed break again and then look to come in on the flip side of that and take profits at this top. But this is quite a nice reversal pattern, which I think would be worth paying attention to. But if you do feel this 200 MA just overhead is complicating your potential entry point to the point where it's not really fitting in with your approach or strategy or your risk tolerance, then you could simply wait for a strong break out from there and then look for a retest, potentially with confluence with the 618, and front run a potential breakout of the neckline as well. So there are a couple of options, but we have a higher high and a higher low, and the next move should give us a breakout of this neckline. So coming in here as low as we could would be very good for risk management. As you can see, this level here at around 0.942 has been a bounce point as well. Maybe you just wait for a break of the 200 MA and then look to come back down, because then at least you've had that bullish confirmation and the buyers will start to come up, even though you may then lose the 200 MA again temporarily as the price action comes back down to retest this area. So a couple of plays with EWT, but just a reminder, these setups are hand-picked coins and tokens with real trading potential based on technical analysis and probabilities, available on both centralized and decentralized exchanges. The altcoin market also follows Bitcoin's direction, so don't miss context. Make sure you subscribe to catch our latest Bitcoin update video for the full picture before you trade. Next up is GOAT, Goatius Maximus USDT 2-day chart. Now, again, another double bottom with a slightly clearer breakout point for the price action. So you've got a couple of options here. You could front run the breakout by coming in at support, right in these low volume nodes, highlighted with this little green zone here. This is the October crash. So if you do get a little dip to around 0.032, then that would be a nice front running entrance. I don't often promote front running plays, but this has nice confluence at support as well. And then you've got a really nice place to put your stop loss just below the October crash. But then if you do prefer bullish confirmation, then you can simply wait for a breakout and then look to come in again on the flip side of this diagonal trend line, and then all the price action has got to do is get above the POC and the 0.272 fib level, which I don't think it will have too much trouble doing once we're on the flip side of this diagonal trend line. So two potential plays with Go, and you should be looking to take profits at around the 100% fib level, which is defined by the bounce peak we had in May earlier this year. So really great setup with GOAT, but I also have another perspective on this if you are looking for a slightly more intraday setup. This is GOAT USD 4 hour. I've left the second part of the double bottom on here so you can see for context what we're referring to. But as you can see, this is another really good breakout setup. So we're looking for an entry upon the break of this descending channel, the 200 MA, and this, the point of control on this time frame. And then if we do get a breakout from here, it'll be a very straightforward retest of the POC with the upper trend line of this channel, hopefully then acting as support with the 200 MA also coming in for nice confluence. So you might want to see something like this, and then away we go. And this around here at 0.09 is where you might want to be taking profits for this shorter term play. So we have a longer term play with GOAT with the potential take profit at around 0.25, and we have the shorter term play with the take profit at around 0.09. So a couple of variations of this setup depending on your trading approach. And finally today we have DCR USDT 1 hour chart. We have this slightly janky inverse head and shoulders pattern, clearly defined by these repeated peaks in the price action, which have formed the neckline, meaning even though the pattern is a little bit ugly, the psychology of the pattern fits quite well. But we have, as a result, a clearly definable diagonal breakout level, which at the moment is providing nice confluence with the 618, this horizontal resistance level. And we've got some support coming in with the 200 MA on the 1 hour. Now, it's not a significant support line, and this could break lower if Bitcoin descends. But ultimately, what we're looking for, just get rid of that arrow, is a clear break of this diagonal trend line, ideally sooner rather than later, because then we get to come back down in this lovely little pocket. You can see this nice little cross, this nice little confluence with the 618 and the inverse head and shoulders neckline. And then we've got potential move upwards with take profit price point essentially here at 1.618, which is around $62, $63. And if that plays out, we're going to have a nice tidy 65% move. But because there is a bit of air below this pattern, and the price action may potentially lose this moving average as well, this pattern could invalidate over the next few days if we don't have a breakout soon. But nonetheless, even if we do get a little bit of retrace back down here to maybe around 28, 29, this level, at least for the next few weeks, is still going to be a good breakout area for a long play. And the psychology of this pattern and what it means for buyers and sellers, a breakout should be relatively imminent if bullish momentum does pick up in the market. But this setup should only be considered valid once we get a breakout, so I don't think we should be making any front run entrances here because we could see a retrace back down to this level first. But even if that's the case, the 618 will still be quite a ripe area for a breakout. As you can see, it is also acting as resistance in addition to this upper diagonal trend line. So a few plays coming down the pipe for DCR, but ideally we want to see a break sooner than later to get this nice confluence with the remnants of this reversal pattern. So a nice potential setup for DCR. But for more winning setups like this, please consider subscribing and also hit that like button and let us know in the comments what altcoins you're thinking of trading this week. We also have a private group you can join that posts charts like this throughout the week, as I got loads more setups this week which I couldn't fit into this video, which our private group members obviously will get access to. But that's it for now. Catch you tomorrow for my weekly live stream where you can ask me questions about any of the coins or tokens you're thinking of trading. Hope to see you there.